Hey, my name's Alex Mitts. I am an instructional designer, and I work for higher ed instructional design, but it's ultimately a goal to eventually move into more of the e-learning development space. And, I've always been a big proponent of taking time out of your day to start developing portfolio pieces, and that's what I'm doing now. If you go to my website, MittsTech.com, you can see some of my really bad portfolio pieces, just because I don't have a lot of opportunity to use articulate storyline. I use lots of other things. I use PowerPoint in my job rather regularly. I use Camtasia pretty much on the daily and kind of consider myself an expert, and if you've followed any of my LinkedIn stuff, that's probably rather apparent that I love Camtasia so much. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to get more articulate storyline stuff on my portfolio. And I just knew that I had to start building something. And I've been inspired by other e-learning developers and other instructional designers. And I'm taking this as inspiration from Tim Slade's portfolio piece, How to Cook a Turkey. And anything that I mention here, I'm going to go back and edit and start, dropping links in the description below and putting annotations and stuff on screen. But yeah, Tim Slade's How to Cook a Turkey was really inspiring for a portfolio piece, because everyone you ask who has feet in this industry will tell you, design something that you're passionate about. And when I was pursuing web development, which kind of fell off, that was the same thing. Coding is tedious at times, building is tedious at times, development is tedious at times, designing can be tedious at times. However, when you add some passion or things that you care about behind those things, it makes life a lot easier. And, cooking a turkey can be a very passionate thing. And so I'm trying to think of, what stuff am I really passionate about? And I have a lot of things that I'm passionate about. However, I do also experience a lot of imposter syndrome as well. And if you haven't checked out Betty's interview series, I'm going to link that in the description below too. I feel that all the time. So I decided to take a different route. I'm not going to do things that I'm passionate about, like voiceover or, how to act, because I do stage acting, or how to play guitar. I'm going to pick something that I feel like I know how to do really well, and it can be really fun. And I can think of this in terms of like a design mindset. So I'm going to pick how to play rock, paper, scissors. And that's something that I feel like I know how to do really well. But I'm also going to treat this like I'm getting my information from a subject matter expert. So we're going to dive into doing that. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I might wrap up this as episode 1 soon, just to keep this episodic series kind of short. Or each episode short in this potentially long series. So I'm going to start with a few resources. I have Google Chrome open right now. I have PowerPoint open right now. I need to save these things. But I think the place that I want to start with how to play rock, paper, scissors is I'm going to need a storyboard. So instead of having PowerPoint open, I might open up Microsoft Word. You may notice too that my desktop looks rather empty. I have a bunch of icons and some clutter on my desktop that's not necessarily pertinent to the video. I don't really have anything to hide, it's just that nobody really cares, and I'd like to keep things tidy. So, I'll keep Psyduck, though, on my timeline because I love him. He's my favorite Pokemon. So what I'm going to do is, I have something bookmarked. I have eLearning Study, Instructional Design Basics for eLearning. I kind of like this template on the articulate just one of these community articulate articles. I like this basic course structure here that they are working with. Welcome, instructions, introduction, objectives, content, assessment, summary, resources, and exit. I know not every course is going to follow this to a T, but I think this is a pretty good starting point, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just copy it for my storyboard. So in here, I'll just go ahead and save this already without anything. I'm going to go ahead and browse to a folder that I've already created. And I'm going to say storyboard version 1, because this may go through multiple iterations. I don't know. A lot of this is seat of my pants, so you get to kind of come with me on this journey as I build this thing that I have no idea how to build yet. And, I'll get feedback and stuff, and we'll see what's going to happen. But, I don't know. There's just... Yeah, okay, we're going to time out. The reason that I'm doing this is because there's a lot of really great stuff out there already. There's lots of tutorials, there's lots of experts showing you how to do things, but I don't see a lot of stuff out there of just people who don't know what they're doing yet, working through the problems mentally. I'm going to hit some walls, I'm going to run into some problems, and I think kind of visualizing those things or what I'm going to do to surmount those obstacles is kind of important, and I hope it's important for someone else to see a non-expert try and do this rather lofty thing. In addition to that, there might be some things I cut out, like some expert reviews, which I'll bring back to the table, but, I just really want to give a candid account of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and if it ends up being a portfolio piece I'm proud of, which I hope it will, you will be there for this and get like an accurate time count of how long it took me to build this thing. And if it crashes and burns, I've at least put myself out there and I've been vulnerable, and you get to see what I'm doing along the way and hear how I'm thinking about it. So without further ado, let's dig in. So I'm going to do a table for my storyboard. I can't remember exactly how we flip from to landscape. There we go. Because storyboards are generally wide, so let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and insert a table. I need 2 headers plus 9 things in it, at least, and we can always add more later. But if I have 2 headers, or two columns, one of them's a header, I've got 9 additional rows. I'll need 10, so I could only get to 8 there. Let's go ahead and insert a few more. Insert rows below. Control Y to add that extra table. So let's see. I'm going to go with visual. I'm going to go with text. And I might want to add a column as well. I'm going to insert another column to the left. And so maybe I'll call this phase, like phase of the process. So, having this Chrome window open, I can see what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and do a welcome screen. Let's talk about some instructions. And, instructions may be more than I need. We can delete this later, but, after watching some other instructional designers design things or talk about how they design things, I think a storyboard's important, especially for this, because if I just jumped right into rapid prototyping for this, I might spend a lot of time building out instructions or building an instructions slide, and maybe I don't need it. Let's see, what else do we want here? We have instructions, we have introduction, which I think we probably will need. Objectives, which I think is important. As adults, we need the why. We need to know why we're doing this thing. With rock, paper, scissors, I'm probably going to have to come up with that at a different time. I might come up with that, in between video 1 and video 2 and drop it in here. We'll see. Content, I'm sure, is going to take up a few more rows of this table. But as a placeholder, I need to put it there. I have an idea for an assessment here for rock, paper, scissors. If someone throws paper, what's the correct thing to do to beat them? That might be my assessment. Not sure if I'm going to include a summary. I might. Resources, I think, is always a nice touch. Like if you want further learning, please go here. And obviously an exit button or an exit slide is what I'm after. So this is my storyboard. I'm just going to kind of beautify this for myself a little bit. I think I'll just bold this text. I'll center it. I really don't care to do the alternate, the alternating colors type of thing. I just need a little bit of, structure for my storyboard, and that's that. So that storyboard is done. Well, that storyboard, the initial building part of it is done. I know what I want. I don't know what I want to put in it. But that's the start. Now, another thing too is, I know as developers, we're going to get a lot of information from subject matter experts. There's going to be a fair amount of doing it yourself as well. Like I'm going to go research this topic and build a course using this. But there's also going to be times where I'm going to get information dumped on me, and I kind of have to sift through that information, and my job is to pull out the important things and make it digestible for a learner. So in this particular instance, my starting point is going to be a Google search. Google is going to be my subject matter expert, and I've cheated because I've looked a little bit before. I know which website I want to go to, but the way I'm going to get there is how to play rock, paper, scissors. Can't type today. There we go. Not a YouTube video. WikiHow. I like this site. It's pretty cool. It comes with visual elements as well. I like the think of an issue that needs to be settled. I think that they kind of, this is probably fairly instructionally sound already. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure it isn't really, but like it gives you a nice walkthrough. Like, hey, there's a problem. We need to solve it. We solve it with this game. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this URL so I can just get back to it quickly. Jump into my storyboard here and paste that so I know just how to get here whenever I need to. And so this is where I'm going to start pulling rules from. And we're already about 12 minutes into this video, and for the sake of keeping it short, I think I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Do a quick scan of this in between video 1 and video 2, and then come back and illustrate my process as to what I'm pulling out, why I'm pulling it out, what I'm using, what I'm not using, etc. And we'll get into episode 2 of building how to play rock, paper, scissors, the e-learning guide to doing so. So thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next one.